All are welcome. There's more to today's video than just English lessons. Modifying your brain's function is the key, for the most part.
People's lack of fluency in English is due less to a lack of vocabulary than to a lack of cognitive training in the English language. English is understood by them, even though they've spent years perfecting it. They nevertheless freeze up when called upon to speak. They get into a paralysis state when they attempt to mentally interpret. They end up forgetting all of the details. Please listen to what I have to say in the event that this occurs to you. Nobody is to blame but you. Nobody ever told you how to develop an English brain. All they did was teach you to learn English. Here, I'll walk you through the process of rewiring your brain so that you can talk, think, and feel completely at ease in English. Yes, watching this video will help you become a better speaker and expand your vocabulary. This adventure will transform your life and your English, so please listen attentively.
Repeat the phrases you enjoy and subscribe to our channel before we begin. To begin, cease translating and begin associating.
The first and most common blunder that individuals make when trying to improve their English is, before speaking, they attempt to mentally interpret everything. Picture this.
Even when you wish to express something as basic as, "I'm going to the store," your brain tries to locate the English words by first thinking about it in your home tongue. You feel awkward, sluggish, and uncertain before you even begin to talk. Because of it, a lot of individuals can comprehend English, but they just don't have the fluency to speak it well. You're translating more than thinking in English. Delays, misunderstandings, and anxiety are inevitable results of translation. Instead of translating, you should begin associating. What this means is that you shouldn't associate meaning with foreign words when you speak English. Instead, your brain should do the opposite. Apple comes to mind. Translation is unnecessary. Visualize a round, crimson, and tasty fruit in your thoughts. We call that affiliation. The English term was immediately associated with the object's meaning and appearance in your mind. You didn't employ translation in your head. Naturally, it grasped the English language. This is the most fundamental way that infants acquire their native tongue. They don't consult a lexicon. They are not adaptable. Someone says something. Upon seeing the thing, a direct connection is established in their brain. That is the very first step you need to do in order to become fluent in English, not by cramming for tests or reading definitions, but by making meaningful associations between English and your everyday experiences. If you associate every English term with its foreign counterpart,
You will never feel as though English is your native tongue. However, your brain will start to recognize English as your native tongue if you begin to think about it in terms of pictures,
emotions, and actual objects. For your exercise, begin associating immediately. Take a look around. Choose 5 tangible items that are close by. Get out of your local tongue and into the English version of their names. Things like phone, table, light, window, and chair are examples. Say the word and then touch them. Get a feel for it. Behold the thing. Read the word aloud. At this point,
you are establishing concrete sensory links between English and your everyday life. Compared to translation, this is 100 times more effective.
you may use this strategy on your emotions as well. When you're exhausted, for instance, it's best not to interpret. Feel the exhaustion and express it as, "I'm tired." Express your joy as, "I feel happy." Express your tension as, "I'm stressed right now."
allow your emotions to immediately ignite the English phrase. In doing so,
You may teach your brain to do more than simply understand English. You can teach it to think and feel it. Put an end to trying to bridge the gap between your original tongue and English if you wish to achieve fluency in the language. That span moves at a snail's pace. Under stress, that bridge will collapse, and you will perpetually feel trapped. You should instead create a new mental route, one that connects English to everything else in your life. Second, immerse yourself in English-speaking environments. What you hear most shapes your brain. English will always seem alien if your brain only hears it for 30 minutes a day and your native language for 15 hours. It isn't that you lack intelligence or that English is difficult. It's just that you haven't had enough exposure to it. Your brain learned to talk from the noises you heard every day, even if you couldn't read, write, or study grammar when you were a newborn. It was in that way that your native tongue became second nature. You must have slept on it. Like a sponge, you soaked it all up. So if you want to learn English the natural manner, you'll have to follow suit. You need to inhale English like breath every single day, not only for 10 minutes in class, but throughout the day to the fullest extent feasible. Our method is known as immersion. To fully immerse oneself in an English-speaking environment is to act as though one were already a permanent resident of that nation. The good news is that you are not required to relocate to either New York or London. Now is the time to make your own little English universe wherever you are, in your bedroom, in the kitchen, or even on the go. Here are 6 really effective and practical ways to break it down. Those are not abstract ideas. The best students employ these methods because they work in the actual world. English as a background sound is one option. You have an easy objective. The more English you can have playing in the background, the better. Allow your brain to passively hear English, like background music, even when you're not studying actively. Listen to a podcast in English as you wash clothes. Watch cooking-related videos on YouTube. As you commute, stroll, or exercise, listen to audio in English. Every word doesn't have to make sense to you. The English language is taking up rhythm, tone, and melody in your brain. Deep subconscious learning is produced by this. Second, become used to listening to English. Because their brains aren't used to the sound of English, most learners struggle to speak smoothly. The way it is said is off-putting. It sounds like a rapid beat. Something about the accent seems off. As a solution, you should repeatedly expose your brain to English sounds until they become second nature. Your brain, like a body, can adapt to a new environment. Repeated exposure to English has the same effect. Before you know it, you'll start to comprehend without having to translate. You begin to foretell phrases. English sounds begin to permeate your thoughts. Third, tailor the English input to your proficiency level. Avoid watching fast-paced movies or listening to in-depth conversations if you're just starting off. Begin with beginner-friendly resources, like as audiobooks with simple stories, or podcasts that talk slowly and clearly, such as this one on YouTube. Raise the level of difficulty gradually as you progress. Comprehensible input describes this. What it signifies is that the level of difficulty is somewhat higher than yours, just the right amount of difficulty. That's when the brain develops at its optimal rate. Option 4. Make use of English while waiting. When you have free time on your mind, but nothing to do with your hands, that's dead time. For instance, as you wait for meals to prepare, as you tidy your room,
as you commute to school or job, or as you brush your teeth.
Now is the time to just sit back and listen. Put on an English language film, audiobook, or speech instead of music or nothing at all. Brain training may be as little as 15 minutes each day, which adds up to 90 hours per year. I am astounded. Fifthly, develop brain circuits through repetition. Don't take anything at face value. Recite it. Like constructing a road, your brain forms strong connections when you hear the same phrase repeatedly.
I recommend a 1-minute English video. Give it 5 listens today. After that, tomorrow. Make an effort to vocalize the sentences. In little time at all,
You'll be able to speak those words effortlessly. That is proficiency. Make a combination of English sounds and feelings. Your brain will recall an emotionally charged sound more quickly. Songs stick in your mind more than definitions from a textbook. Because of this, amusing films stick in your mind more than rules of language. Pick anything that evokes strong emotions in you, whether that's shock, wonder, laughter, or tears. A 10-fold increase in learning speed is achieved when auditory and emotional cues are combined. One must constantly expose themselves to English in order to think in English, not only when you're in the midst of your studies, but all the time. Immerse yourself with the English language. Pay attention while you're bored. Keep your material simple at beginning. Say that again and again. Feel free to let your brain digest things at its own pace. Plus, you should only ever watch things that evoke strong emotions in you. Your brain will start to use English more naturally the more you expose it to it. The more fluent one gets in English, the more natural it is to think in that language. This is the process of mental training. I want to immerse myself in the English language, not only study it. Thirdly, act more like a parrot and less like a pupil.
You will never feel comfortable speaking English if your mind is prepared, but your tongue is not. Let that sink in. Word on your lips. The sentence is clear to you.
English is all around you. On the other hand, you freeze up and dread speaking out when it's your turn. You hesitate. You are at a loss. What causes this to occur? You can't make English sounds with your mouth. Speaking requires both mental acuity and physical practice, like any other ability. You need to work on both your oral and mental skills simultaneously. In this case, the shadowing method is useful, even though it's one of the most effective ways to improve your English language skills. The majority of students still mess it up. When you shadow a native speaker, you imitate their every word and gesture. You mimic their pace. You mimic their sound. Like a mirror, you reflect their beat, feelings, and vitality. A parrot, not a pupil, becomes your status symbol. The ability to translate is lacking in you. You are not a writer. In your work, you refrain from analysis, using your own voice. You can instantaneously mimic the sound. It's called shadowing for that reason. Your voice instantaneously mimics the speaker's pitch and volume. Just way a shadow follows a moving object. Reason being, you get a double benefit of exercising both your ears and your brain. Automatic speech patterns are built by it. If you want to talk like a native speaker, this is the program for you. Instead of focusing on rules, it helps you experience the language. It enhances the flow, assurance, pronunciation, and accent of your speech. Actually, a lot of linguists agree that this is the quickest approach to becoming native in any tongue. Discover the blunder that the vast majority of students make. After consuming media like a video or podcast, they promptly disregard the content. They are unique.
they remain silent. For them, comprehension is sufficient. On the other hand, it's not. Your hearing will only be trained if you only listen. On the other hand, daily mouth training is essential for fluent speech. That is covered by shadowing. You'll improve your listening comprehension, speaking skills, pronunciation, and overall fluency all at once. Pick a brief clip. 30 to 60 seconds is a good starting point. Begin with a little endeavor. Skip the 2-hour film or lengthy video. Pick an inspiring speech, interview, audiobook, short clip, video, or voiceover that is in English and has good pronunciation, genuine emotion, and a moderate or medium speed. The second step is to listen silently for 2 or 3 times. Pay attention first. Listen to the beat, the tone, and the feeling. Take your time before speaking. It will take your brain a little while to adjust to the new noise. Third, loudly follow the speaker. Now, play the video again, but this time, repeat each phrase as soon as you hear them. Keep going. Leave translation out. Forget about trying to be flawless. Becoming a shadow is your objective. Inevitably, you will err. It's all right. Mastery is achieved via practice, not flawlessness. Fourth, don't worry about grammar as much as rhythm and emotion. Shadowing is not the same as learning grammar. It sounds like you're ripping off English music. The English language possesses a natural melody, rhythm, flow, and tone. Absorbing it like music is made easier with shadowing. Instead of sounding robotic and emotionless, your speech takes on a more natural flow as you gain self-assurance. The fifth step is to play the same footage continuously for 5 days. Avoid constantly switching to new videos. For 5 days, play the same footage over and over again. Why? Because your brain forms new connections when you repeat an action. Your taste buds will keep it in memory. It will stick in your mind. Pretty soon, you won't even need to read or think about it to speak the entire clip. That is proficiency. Try recording your voice after you've shadowed a clip a few times. After that, check it against the source. Pronunciation, tempo, self-assurance, and expression will all change. Self-criticism is futile. Simply take note of the areas that need improvement and work on them gradually. A brilliant speaker's hidden weapon is self-awareness, which this exercise fosters. Although parrots lack grammatical knowledge, their rhythmic and expressive sound imitation makes them seem quite fluent. When you mimic a parrot's movements, you eliminate unnecessary thought. You get over your cold, you muster up the courage, you begin to communicate with ease, assurance, and spontaneity. That is the point of observing others closely. Quit being a quiet observer and start making your presence known if you wish to speak English well.
Shadowing is more than simply a method. It's an all-encompassing exercise that engages your entire being, a person's emotions, thoughts, speech.
Taste and hearing are all interconnected via it. Your speaking speed increases as you shadow more. Your imitation skills will improve as you practice. The more you practice, the more proficient you will become. So,
Stop being a passive pupil and start acting like a parrot right now. Increase your fluency exponentially by shadowing every day.
the fourth step is to think every day in English. Thinking in a language is the first step to becoming fluent in that language.
Most individuals become caught there. They have English literacy skills. While writing in English, they are sluggish. Conversations are even understandable to them. They feel obstructed, nevertheless.
When it comes to using English in everyday situations, they get into a paralysis state. They lose all mental clarity. Their jaws ache from the thick tongue. They lose all self-assurance. Why? Reason being, they continue to think in their own tongue. While they talk, they are attempting to interpret each word. Attempting to construct the road while driving is akin to that. Going at a snail's pace. I'm in pain. And each time, it undermines your self-assurance. Now we can fix it. You need to alter the way you express yourself mentally. Instead of only speaking English occasionally, you should train your brain to do it constantly. What your mind thinks, your tongue says. You need to give your mouth some time to interpret, organize,
And correct its speech before it can speak if your brain is thinking in your original language. Conversely, the translation process is time-consuming. Errors, omissions, and terror are the results.
Your English seems broken because of it. Not even knowing the words will help. Visualize this now instead. Your ideas are entirely in English, raw, unfiltered, and unforced. Your verbal expressions are merely a reflection of your mental processes. Then, fluency will come naturally. There is no magic here. Now we are training. I will demonstrate the process to you in great detail. In English, you are not required to think eloquently or philosophically. Begin with simple, everyday ideas. Those that you already consider 1,000 times each day. Some instances include, what happened to my phone? I should really hydrate myself with some water. Tell me the time. I must depart immediately. The weather is chilly. My hunger has been sated. It's lovely. I say we do this. Take another look at these phrases. They aren't sophisticated. Yes, they exist. You already have them in your life. And they're easy. All day long, you should be telling yourself things like these in English. You can get by without more time. Changing your mental vocabulary is all that's needed. When thinking critically, these are the finest times to utilize English. Tell me the time. Permit me to look at my phone. Now would be a good time for me to stand up. I am absolutely thrilled about today. Oh my. I've misplaced my toothbrush as I'm getting ready. I must go quickly. Shirt like this doesn't suit me. Extra coffee would be great. On foot, take a look at that automobile. I love that puppy. Today, there is a little wind. When I wake up, I enjoy going for a stroll. As I work, excuse me, I need to respond to this email. Wow, this is tough.
Give me a break. Roughly finished. This tastes delicious. Eat more slowly, please. Can you suggest a meal for tomorrow?
Time to wind down for the night. That was quite a day. I'm pleased with myself. I intend to up my game tomorrow. Join me in incorporating this 5-step mental exercise into your everyday life. One category every day is a good place to start. Choose a single subject to center your ideas around. Day 1, for instance, consider your morning routine. On the second day, we spoke about food. On this third day, while we stroll, we reflect. On day 4, we'll talk about your feelings. On the 5th day, ideas while working.
Full sentences are not necessary. Even one word can be your starting point. I am exhausted. A cup of coffee. I am very busy. Beautiful scenery.
Bright sunshine. This takes the edge off and gets the brain working on the habit of thinking in English. Second, Speak softly or silently. Whispering or discreetly moving your lips is acceptable behavior in public or among other people.
But talking loudly to oneself is not. You may still engage the link between your mouth and brain invisibly with this. Quiet practice yields great results. The next step is to give each object a name. Immerse yourself in your surroundings to learn. No matter where you are, you should begin naming objects in English, either quietly or aloud. Socks, window, fan.
Laptop, mirror, and water bottle are some examples. This eliminates the need for translation while also building quick vocabulary memory.
These words will become second nature to you in no time. Fourth, as you're doing it, describe it. This is a really effective way of thinking. Just use English to express what you're doing. Taking this example further, I am about to open the refrigerator. Juice is being poured by me.
I've taken a seat. I am engrossed in a video. I'm becoming exhausted. This establishes an interactive feedback loop where your actions are translated into English in real time.
It transforms English from a mere topic into an integral aspect of your life. Fifth step, include emotions, not only physical items.
Words are more than just data when spoken in English. Emotions are conveyed via it. You should begin to consider your emotions in English.
I feel anxious. My heart is racing with anticipation. My interest is waning. This is a good day for me. I'm feeling rather anxious.
My growth has been something to be proud of. Putting your thoughts and ideas into words in English marks the transition from student to fluent communicator. Take 2 minutes at the end of each day to mentally go over what you accomplished in English. Like, I got up bright and early today. I have completed the project. After finishing my meal, I went for a light stroll. I picked up some fresh knowledge. The reply to one mail slipped my mind. I intend to achieve an earlier bedtime tomorrow. Adopting this practice improves not just fluency, but also memory and sentence structure. Jot it down. It's not necessary. Get your thoughts, feelings, and actions out in English. After just 2 or 3 weeks of doing this daily, your brain will no longer rely on your native language. Your speech will become more rapid and fluent. Full phrases will start to come to you as you go along. English will start feeling like a foreign language to you. Your internal monologue will start to revolve around it. That is the very first step towards becoming fluent. Being flawless is not necessary for thinking in English. The key is to maintain consistency. Vocabulary is not necessary. Deep thinking is unnecessary. Begin with genuine ideas, random ideas, ordinary, straightforward ideas. That is the way you hone your native tongue. That's the best way to improve your English skills. Permit English to reside in your mind from this point on, in all aspects of your being, not only your speech, thoughts, feelings, and daily existence. That's how you turn fluency into a reality, not only an aspiration. Fifthly, make it a habit to have a daily self-talk. To achieve fluency, you are not need to have a speaking partner. Living in a place where English is spoken is not necessary. No need for flawless grammar. What you need is daily self-practice speaking English. Indeed, what you heard was accurate. Herein lies one of the potent trade secrets of self-assured, proficient English speakers. They constantly engage in self-dialogue in English. They know something that most others don't. And it's not because they're lonely or insane. Even when no one is there to hear you, you should practice speaking clearly. This is not an absurd practice. Actors, public speakers, sportsmen, CEOs and language learners all rely on this scientific method as their hidden weapon. Most students wait for the right time to start learning. They remain mute as they wait for someone to assist them practice speaking English. I need someone to practice with. I'll join a speaking club someday. Maybe one day I'll visit an English-speaking country. Maybe someone will help me. They lose faith in themselves, make less progress, and eventually hit a wall. Visualize this now instead. Even if it's just for 5 minutes a day, you talk to yourself in English. You articulate your ideas. The tale is told by you. You let your feelings be known. You inquire and respond to inquiries. You are fearless in your practice. Avoid embarrassment, failure, and criticism. It's the way fluency develops. That's the first step towards change. As a first step, begin your day with a chat in the morning. Just a minute. Try talking to yourself in English first thing in the morning. Sure.
Simply stand or sit in front of the mirror and talk about whatever's on your mind before you even clean your teeth. Example, good morning. Today is going to be a good day.
I feel a little tired, but I'm excited. What should I do first? Let me stretch my body a little. This will start your day with a burst of optimistic English.
You're not only preparing your mind to speak English, but also your lips. It does a wonderful job of tying together your ideas, voice, and aspirations. The second step is to vocalize your routine. Pretend you are a narrator and describe what you do as you go about your day. Saying things like, I'm brushing my teeth. I'm looking for my shirt. I'm cooking eggs. I'm pouring my coffee. I need to leave in 10 minutes. This makes the connection between your everyday life and natural English. Books aren't helping you learn. In your own setting, you are gaining knowledge from your own experiences. There is no more effective or effortless way to learn than that. The third step is to engage in self-talk. The wonder begins here. You take on the role of your own dialogue partner. After that, you respond to questions. What's my schedule for today? I'll get some work done on my project. After that, I might go for a walk. How am I feeling? I'm good. A bit exhausted, but focused. What is something I could work on? I wish I could speak more clearly and stop hesitating. This will help you become more confident, speak more clearly, and respond quickly. You get the feel of practicing a genuine conversation without really having to talk to anyone. Fourth, utilize the mirror technique. Prone to a mirror, stand. Take a good,
Long look at yourself and converse with yourself as if you were a teacher, friend, or even your future self. Saying things aloud may boost your self-assurance. Hey, you're doing better than you think. I know learning English is hard, but look how far you've come. You've got this.
You just need to keep going. Say it again. Say it better. You can do it. And so on. Observe how you carry yourself. Work on the muscles in your mouth. Practice making compelling presentations. Communicate with passion, not timidity. Quite a few public speakers and actors make use of this.
Do that every day now. Step 5. To round off your day, reflect on your English skills. Recite a little English mantra to yourself before you turn in for the night. Think back on the day. How did that happen? What were the main takeaways? Do you have any plans for tomorrow? As an example, you may say something like, today was a little stressful, but I finished my work. I listened to a podcast during lunch. I'm proud that I practiced speaking today. Tomorrow, I want to try shadowing again. I feel good. I'm improving. In this way, you can improve your recall, sentence structure,
emotional expression, and fluency, while you wind down for the night.
What happens if I fumble? Very well done. To make a mistake is to attempt something new, to push oneself ahead, and to evolve as a person. Distractions abound. No one will judge or put any pressure on you. If you want to repeat yourself while talking to yourself, go ahead and do it. Experiment with different words and phrases. Pause. Correct.
And try again if you like. Play around with different speeds and tones. This training room is only for you.
You have complete freedom to develop in this space. Feelings of mental emptiness are common. It is typical. You can utilize these basic prompts. You may also save pictures of prompts and put them next to your bed or work.
Today, I want to talk about. Right now, I'm feeling. Something I learned recently is. My favorite food is. If I could travel anywhere, I would go to. One thing I'm grateful for today is. Mastering fluency takes practice, even if it's just one phrase each day.
What will stand out to you is this. Speaking is no longer a nervous affair for you. Your speech is more rapid and distinct. Mental translation comes to a halt. With other people, you exude an air of self-assurance.
Pronunciation is enhanced without your intervention. My English is becoming more fluent. Why? Why? Because you've honed your vocal abilities as well as your cognitive abilities. Reason being,
You've had some experience with actual speech, not only memorization. The English language is now infused with your voice. Remember that you are the one who can educate yourself the most. You should always communicate with confidence and assurance. Practicing does not necessitate authorization. To begin, you are not dependent on anybody else. All it takes is 5 minutes of bravery each day. I'm done. You should have a conversation with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Put yourself to the test. Find the drive within yourself. Someday, you'll be able to grin and respond, I practiced with the one person who was always there for me.
Myself. When asked, wow, how did you become so fluent?
The sixth step is to develop an English persona. Every time you talk in your native tongue, you bring your unique character, feelings, and energy to the conversation. Most students, nevertheless,
undergo a metamorphosis when they interact in English. Weak, more clumsy, shy, anxious, mistake-averse, and self-conscious. Why? Simply put, they are attempting to speak English from a beginner's perspective. Words come easily to them. The grammar is known to them.
the methods are known to them. However, at their core, they still don't feel authentic while speaking English. Plus,
you won't have achieved true fluency until you start to sound natural while speaking English. No one can fool you with an English personality. Acting isn't it.
it's not about changing identities. Becoming your most strong, outspoken, and self-assured self is it. When you speak English, it's like a different person. You're confident, you let your thoughts shine through. You share stories, ideas, and feelings without holding back. You sound natural. You don't feel the need to apologize for every word, and you take pride in your English. Making a flawless sound is not the point. Feeling authentic, vibrant, and liberated is key. That is proficiency. Since fluency encompasses much than simply verbal and written expression, Identity is at the heart of fluency. If you hold the self-doubt that says,
I'm not good enough. I sound stupid. My accent is bad. People will laugh at me.
I'll never be fluent, then your English will never truly blossom. Everything changes, though, the second you begin to tell yourself things like, this is my voice. I express myself in English now. I make mistakes. So what? I sound different, but I sound real. I'm growing every day.
speaking English makes you a real person. Furthermore, such individual is invincible. Pick an English name as the first step, elective but potent. On one hand,
You have the new you, fluent, expressive, and crystal clear. And on the other, you have the old you, nervous, mute, and terrified. Ask yourself, how would a fluent me speak today, first thing in the morning? With what assurance might I articulate this concept? How would someone speaking English deal with this? Secondly, use your body language to convey your meaning, which will help you transition from thinking, I'm trying to speak English, to thinking, this is who I am now. There is more to your English personality than meets the eye. Body language is also a factor. Communicate with a smile. Keep your hands loose and relaxed. Keep looking someone in the eyes. Sit or stand with assurance. Stand tall. Come out. Speak clearly. Your brain will follow your body's lead when you feel assured.
And when your mind is at ease, words come out with ease. Finally, appeal to people's emotions rather than their logic.
People feel something when they speak English. Your delivery is more important than the words you choose. Say, I'm great.
thanks for asking. Instead of, I like music, say, I absolutely love music. It gives me life. Practice expressing different emotions, including enthusiasm, frustration, thankfulness, surprise, laughter, and joy. No need for flawless grammar. You must have actual energy. It's the thing that people relate to. The fourth step is to put yourself in a real-life scenario and answer using your English. Visualization is an effective tool. Put your imagination to work. Cafe life in the Big Apple is upon you. If someone were to ask, what do you do? How would you respond in English?
You're delivering a presentation in English while standing on stage. How are you holding yourself? Are you audible? Imagine this scenario. Someone says,
Your English is amazing. How would you confidently respond to that comment? Rehearse these scenarios mentally before reciting them aloud. Before long, your mind begins to accept it as fact. Step 5. Record your progress as an English language learner in a diary. Each night, write a paragraph. No, not in the role of a student or learner. Embrace your own writing voice. For instance, one may say something like, Today, I felt powerful while speaking. I'm not perfect, but I'm improving. I noticed I said 5 full sentences without stopping, and that felt amazing. I'm proud of myself. This kind of language development fosters personal growth, not only intellectual advancement. As a result, you'll learn to see yourself more as an orator and less as an opponent. Step 7. Consult a dictionary that converts words into English. Most individuals, when seeing a new term like appreciative, wonder, what does this mean in my language? However, here is where the issue lies. The translation is frequently inaccurate. This has a superficial connotation. You won't remember it after a day. There is no instruction on how to use the term in context. Forever and ever, you remain mired in translation mode. Picture this now. Your brain does more than merely translate when it finds this definition of grateful in an English-to-English dictionary. Grateful, adjective, feeling thankful or showing appreciation for something that someone has done for you. In other words, it perceives a genuine definition in plain English. As you continue to use English in your daily life, you will begin to think, feel, and act more fluently in the language. You may find the scientific explanations here. Your brain forms a connection between two language systems when you search up an English term in your home language. In addition, your mind must traverse the bridge each time you require that term. Feeling anxious, shaky, and clumsy is the result. However, there is no bridge formed in the brain when one uses solely English to seek up an English term. This term isn't in translation. It resides in my English brain, you're saying. You become quick, certain, and at ease with it. The first thing you should do is look for dictionaries that are easy for beginners to use. Oxford Learner's Dictionary, Cambridge Learner's Dictionary,
and Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English are some of the first results that will come up in a Google search. Word forms, collocations, common use,
and short phrase examples are all provided by these dictionaries. It's the same as getting a definition from a patient and understanding English instructor.
Second, take your time reading the term. Let's pretend you want to know what confident means. The following is what you see. Confident. Adjective. Feeling sure about yourself and your abilities. Please read it again. Pronounce it aloud. Give careful consideration to each term used in the definition. To add to this, you should also look up any unfamiliar words among them. With each use of the English language, you strengthen the link in the chain of comprehension that exists inside the English language. Reading the sample sentences is the third step. Example sentences are provided by the majority of high-quality dictionaries. Confident is no longer a word. Examples include, she's very confident when speaking in public, and he walked into the room looking calm and confident. Think of it as an image in your head. It's a phrase, an image, a recollection. Words are ingrained in you in that way. The fourth step is to instantly incorporate the term into your own phrase. A new buddy is like a new word when you learn it. People will slip your mind if you don't engage with them. Put the definition and examples to use by inserting the term into your own phrase. An example might be, I feel confident when I speak slowly, or this video is helping me become more confident in English. Practice saying it out. Put it down on paper. Consider that while you go about your day. The best way to learn new words is to use them in contexts like this. Step 5. Go back to memory and study the word later. Do your best to recall the meaning of confident the next day.
Would it be okay if I rephrase it in English?
Will it work in a fresh phrase today? The strongest kind of memory. Active recall is strengthened in this way. You are becoming an expert thinker in English, not only a memorization machine. When asked what they need, the majority of individuals said stronger grammatical standards, better applications, or better instruction. What they actually require, though, is to stop acquiring the English language via their own tongue and begin doing it through the English language itself. The usage of an English-to-English dictionary goes beyond the simple act of comprehending words. The English language skills you acquire now will serve you well throughout your life. Therefore, from now on, whenever you come across a new term,
consider whether or not it has an English translation. Am I able to put this into English?
Will my native English be enough to survive in this world? Simply said, you will have achieved true fluency the moment you no longer require translation. You have graduated from the status of student as of today. In English, you are a dreamer, a storyteller, a communicator, a thinker, and a speaker.
Being flawless is not necessary. Your only requirement is to show up. Start each day by asking yourself, what would I do if I were fluent? After that, act on it, say it, and finally, live it.
And soon you will come to the realization, I am English now. I am not just someone who knows English. That is fluency. It exudes self-assurance.
That is the true change.